Everybody's trying to game the algorithm on LinkedIn. I'm throwing it out completely. This is going to be a fun episode of how to really dominate on LinkedIn in 2026. So you're out here selling into mid-market companies, and somehow you ended up in a networking room with a guy selling magic crystals and someone who just launched their coaching business yesterday. You don't need another awkward coffee with someone who can't even spell B2B. You need real conversations that lead to real outcomes. You need a winning team that's as invested in your success as you are. That's Success Champion Networking, built for business owners who sell real solutions to real companies and are tired of networking in all the wrong rooms. No silly jingles, no pass a referral or else pressure, just smart, growth-minded pros who serve the same business-to-business audience as you do. So if you're ready to stop networking with people who think mid-market is a grocery store, go to successchampionnetworking.com, find a chapter near you, and register to visit. Now, here's a funny thing about LinkedIn right now is there's kind of two sides of the court that's happening. One side is complaining, moaning about the engagement being down, the number of people seeing their posts are way down. And then there's the other side of it that are trying to just game the hell out of the algorithm with pods, with all these tricks and tactics that are eventually going to get them kicked off the platform. And what I'm continually finding is that if you will throw the algorithm completely out the window and stop worrying about the number of likes, the engagements, and things that are happening on your post and such, you will win in 2026. So here's the thing that really got me to change my entire thought process around LinkedIn is thinking about LinkedIn being the world's largest cocktail party. Now think about it this way is if you're at a cocktail party, the whole conversation centers around getting into cool conversations, understanding people's stories, and opening up doors and getting to know people. Most people, what they're doing is it's like walking into that cocktail party and going, "Hey, have you seen my 25 strategies to how to be a better marketer?" And then expecting the whole world to turn around and go, "Oh my God, that's exactly what I've been looking for." Not understanding that you have to treat this platform like it's this engrossed networking conversation of that, you know, people are coming together on. Hey, Ben, how are you? And are really working together to build out a overall community. So when I think about LinkedIn, I'm thinking about how can I expand my network? How can I grow my network, right? And how can I develop really, really cool relationships that get more people interacting with me? Because here's the funny thing that I want people to understand, especially when it comes to the algorithm of LinkedIn as a whole. The people that like and are engaging, life is great, Ben. Thank you for asking. Hope things are well with you. You know, the people that are engaging, commenting, and interacting with your posts and such on LinkedIn, they are other creators. They're not the people that are actually going to be buying whatever it is you're selling on the platform. This is your network. These are the people that you're actually networking with. So if you understand that the engagement you get, the likes, the comments, the shares, all that, those are typically from other content creators. The people that actually purchase and buy your stuff are never going to comment, engage, say anything on your post. So it's about not only getting deep into conversations and building a network on the platform, it's about getting deep into the conversations, in the comments and especially on the comments of other people. So here's my strategy going into 2026 that is going to just change a lot of things up. And I'm even going to give you a couple of tools that we're going to reference in here that I hope really get this dialed in for you so you can really wrap your head around how to do this best. So the first thing that I did is Kevin Turner put out a file or an article just right before the end of the year. And it totally broke down how LinkedIn's SEO strategy and how they put everything together. And it's pretty wicked. when reading his article on how you should be looking at AEO, which is the new AI, SEO stuff, and how 360 Brew and all the things that they're bringing to LinkedIn and all the changes they're making there. When he wrote this article, it completely revamped how I did my actual LinkedIn profile. I literally took the profile and took his article and redid everything about my profile. Now, in the past, my profile was more story focused. Like I was really, more around this concept of how do I keep people through on my profile through cool things about me and cool stories and the likes. But Kevin's article completely flipped the script on that, and literally my title we even said used to say baby goat dad on there because I was trying to be relatable, and it's real. I raised dwarf Nigerian goats. But after reading his article, and I think we'll try and put a link in the comments. Oh, he's got the QR code up there. um, it really breaks down how 360 Brew and the algorithms inside LinkedIn are actually seeing your content. And what I found was that by dialing in the keywords and the things and really looking at it from an AEO perspective, I overhauled everything in there. And there was things that I didn't have in there, like social proof. We didn't talk about in my profile that how big we've built the network, 25, 27 chapters now, over 385 members, and the growth. So there wasn't things like that in there that really validated, the content and things that I was putting out there and showcasing us from the best perspective. Since making these changes based off of Kevin's article, my follower count has grown tremendously, and the number of reach outs and DMs I'm getting is been insane, and having more and more people come to me asking about Success Champions Networking and asking about our world. The about section was completely overhauled to talk more about the things we teach, our knowledge, our wisdom, and really getting people dialed into our world, to where it's almost setting it up that if they spend any time on the profile, that they will, by the time they reach out, they already are 90% of the way sold into whatever you're selling. Uh, Down to even the banner image and getting that completely dialed in. So go read his article. Phenomenal read. Completely made me rethink how everything about LinkedIn as a whole, and just got me really dialed in there. Now, the way that I am handling, content in 2026 is kind of a threefold posting strategy that's really got me focused on how I'm telling and what kind of content I'm putting out there. So I'm putting out basically, three types of content. So one is personal stories. This is where Baby Goat Sunday comes into play. This is where being in Dallas Cowboys Stadium and things like that. They're the really personal stories. The personal stories, that's the things that really start growing your follower base. Hello, Victoria. And getting more people to see and follow you. So the personal stories, things like going from bartender to CEO of a company and things along those lines have really get me geared toward. So what's fun is it allows me to come up with a whole bunch of different personal stories that I can use throughout the year on LinkedIn. The second type of post I'm doing is teaching moments. This is where I really break down all the different things in that we teach out there, all the frameworks that we teach out there, and all the different types of moments out there. So what I found is by teaching all these frameworks, it really allows us to get dialed into different styles of post. This is your authority building, okay? This is getting people to understand that you actually know what the hell you're talking about. And then the last one is more your audience building or your contrarian viewpoints a lot of times. Well, what I found is being more contrarian in nature on things you actually believe in. Like, I truly believe that most people don't teach networking well. So it's really easy for me to go down the path of contrarian viewpoints on networking. So anything that you can do to myth bust industry trends and the like, anything that you can cause a pattern interrupt, get people to think differently about, the way they do things. The next strategy I've got going in 2026 that has been dominating the end of 25 and it continues to rock and roll is doing the 10 comments a day. And let me tell you, this above anything else has gotten more exposure, more interactions, grown my network and client base, is simply committing to do 10 comments a day. So what I've found is I have a pretty good feed of people that I've networked, built relationships with on LinkedIn. So it's usually pretty easy for me to find content. But I know a lot of other people struggle to find content to comment on and the likes. So what I've found is one of the things that I love doing is I'll just go up to the search bar and type in anything that I geek out on, and I can find people that are posting content around whatever I'm geeking out on. So if it's Harry Potter, if it's fantasy, if it's D&D, if it's gaming, if it's whatever, I can find a ton of comments just by going up to the search bar, putting in whatever you geek out on, then click to post, and then pick last 24 hours. And what you're going to see is everybody who posted in the last 24 hours on that particular topic. It's phenomenal. It's a cool way to find a bunch of content to engage with. And then what I think about is when I'm commenting is how do I almost create a mini post for people to see, interact with, and really engage with. And what I found is, and you're seeing it more and more, is that people are seeing posts from even a week out, and they're now telling you how many impressions and such your posts are getting, and or your comments are getting, and how that's leading to more and more hello Ashley, and more people to engage with your stuff. So the deeper and better your comments, the more people are going to lean into the conversations themselves. And so what I found is not only do I want to leave a good comment, I want to leave an in-depth comment, not to try and take away the glory from the original poster, but to add tremendous value to it so people will lean in with that value. The next strategy that I'm really using is finding people who are putting out content that I really can lean on for business growth, and to find people that may need our services. So what I am doing is getting very, very, very specific in the search bar, using very specific terms, and getting very specific in how I'm using that search bar to find the right people. So things that I'm putting in. So our entire world is B2B networking. So we'll simply put in B2B networking and look for content around, or people putting out content around that topic. So we'll put in business referrals, lead generation, not working. So we're looking for keywords of where people are indicating or struggling that they need our services, or potentially are looking for our services. And we are then, able to listen to, the people out there putting the content, and finding people specifically to engage on, which is really kind of fun. Is we're now using this tactic to go into areas where we haven't been, or don't have some of our chapters in those particular areas, and using it as a means to start up new groups and new chapters for us. So it's a really, really cool thing, just getting very tactical in the search bar on what are the pain points and things your people are talking about, and be able to bring those things up in the search bar. Now, the next one's a little bit more of advanced system, and there's a cost associated with it, is we're really going all in on Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator and their ability to keep leads list is probably one of the greatest hacks on LinkedIn. That's not even a hack, it's just part of their system. But we are now able to, we're going in and targeting very specific cities and the industries that surround these particular cities that we're going after, and being able to put together a list of people that we can target and have conversations. And there's a cool feature in there that says commented on LinkedIn in the last 30 days. That little button alone is just a gold mine, because what you find is people who are already active on the platform to go build relationships with, interact with, and put it all together. I mean, it is, just a phenomenal game changer for us. Really excited about going all in on it during 2026. So what this whole process does is it allows you to attract more inbound leads, allows you to build content, so it's really focused on your authority and your target market. Your comments, expand your reach without chasing virality. Your search finds, active conversations, and outreach fills your pipeline with people coming in. What I'm not doing this year is I'm not obsessing over the algorithm. I'm not those fucking engagement pod people just piss me off. Not doing stupid shit like that. Not buying followers or likes. Not posting 3 times a day. Like, I got to put out a tremendous amount of content. And I'm not worried about, any sort of algorithm hacks or the likes. So the bottom line here is LinkedIn in 2026 isn't about gaming the algorithm. It's about being so fucking clear on who you serve and what you do and why it matters to the right people. They can't help but notice you. That's a great question. So for most people, if you can get to a consistent 3 times a week, that's a phenomenal posting strategy. For me, I have to post every day, but that's because I'm a lazy bastard, right? So I had to literally get into the rhythm and habit of posting every day, because I knew if I didn't, I wouldn't stay consistent with it. So, but for most people, posting 3 times a day is a great way to make sure you're getting enough content out there. But it's more important you do the 10 comments a day. Literally 10 comments a day is way more important versus the amount of times that you're, posting out there. So, with all that said, if you got any value out of this, do me a favor, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel below. That means everything. And if you sell B2B and you haven't visited one of our networking groups, go to successchampionnetworking.com, and we'd love to see you in one of the chapters. Otherwise, guys, go have an amazing, awesome week. Love you, mean it. See you, bye.